Hi, everybody. I'm Andi Matheny, head honcho of the Andi Matheny Acting Studios, and this is a video about sensory preparation. Now, I know what you're probably saying. Hey, I clicked on this video because it says this is why you're not booking your auditions. Well, I can almost promise you that one of the reasons why you're not booking is because you're not doing the proper preparation. Okay, so let's back up. You get a script for an audition, and when you get that script and you're reading it, you have to make some pretty important decisions. First of all, what's the scene about? What does my character, the human being that I'm playing, what do they want? And one of the most important decisions you're going to make is the other character that I'm in the scene with. Who in my real life do they correspond with so that I can have an organic connection to the scene? Now, there is an art to choosing that person, the most effective person that you can work with in your imagination for the scene. I call it the hot person. And the reason why I call it that is not because they're necessarily sexy. They're just somebody who affects your inner chemistry, somebody who gets your engine going, somebody that you have history with, somebody that you feel very strongly emotionally about. And I talk about that at length in my book, Act Alive, The Essential Guide to Igniting and Sustaining Your Working Actor Career. But just to keep it simple for now, let's take a really clear example. So what if the scene that you're doing is about having a meeting with an ex? And now during this meeting, you have an opportunity to tell them how much they hurt you, how you need an explanation from them about their behavior, and how you need them to make amends. Sound familiar? Ring a bell? Of course it does. So that would be a person that you might choose from your life that you are dealing with in the scene, that your character is dealing with in the scene. So you work on the scene and you've memorized your lines, and now you say you're ready to tape. And maybe I'm coaching you, okay? So we do a take, and I notice that the scene's falling flat. And I'll ask you, hey, who did you choose for that other human being in the scene with you? And because you're a smart actor, you'll say, oh, well, I chose Terry. Great, sounds good. And I'll ask you, what color are Terry's eyes? What kind of expression do they have on their face when they're talking to you? And you go, that's when I know you have not done the proper preparation. And that is one of the reasons why you're not booking. Because let's be honest, 99% of the time, the person that you're reading with, the reader in your room, looks nothing like Terry, sounds nothing like Terry. So you're not having a sensory experience. You're not being affected by them. There's no emotional connection in the scene, and that's why it's falling flat, okay? But let's go a step further. In your self-tape setup, which you may have in your house, and that's great if you do, the self-tape setup is very bare. You have your tripod and your camera and your lights and your reader and your neutral backdrop, but otherwise it's a pretty sterile environment. And unless you're filling that environment in with your imagination, unless you're actually seeing your environment, the colors, the objects in the room, then you're not having a true 100% sensory experience. And that is why your scenes are falling flat, because casting can see that in your eyes and in your behavior. When you have a true emotional connection to your work, and when your scenes are really connected and organic, we pick that up. We pick that up viscerally. So if you want to book, I highly recommend you do a couple of things. First of all, go to my companion video for this video, which is my relaxation video. Go through that relaxation process, and then when you're finished with that, come back to this video. Because right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a very simple sensory exercise that you should do every time you work on any scene and right before you hit record on your smartphone or camera. Okay, are you ready? Now I'm going to slow this way down now, because now that you're relaxed and you're sitting in your chair, I want you to think of, well, first of all, if you're working on a scene, from the clues that I've given you, pick the most appropriate person that correlates with the other character in the scene. And if you don't have any scene to work on, just pick anybody. It really doesn't matter. You're just going to have a sensory experience. All right, so sitting in your chair, you can close your eyes if you'd like, but you can also do this with your eyes open. I want you to invite that person into the room with you. Now, obviously that person isn't here. This is your imagination, but invite them in and have them take the seat across from you or stand in front of you. And now I want you to look into their eyes. I want you to notice the color of their eyes. I want you to notice the expression on their face. And I want you to let that land. Notice what's happening inside you. Notice if they're getting any kind of chemistry going inside you. Notice how that's making you feel. Just allow that to happen. Notice what they're wearing. And then if it's appropriate to your relationship, hold your hand out and have them put their hand in yours. Maybe they're grasping your hand. Maybe it's just lying on top of your hand. You can take your other hand and touch their hand. Notice the texture of their skin, if there's any freckles, any jewelry, any marks. And now you let that land. Sit with this person for a moment. And now I want you to look around you and I want you to see an environment that you associate with this person. Maybe something happened, an event happened in this environment with this person that was very significant. And I want you to notice the colors in the room or wherever you were. If there are any objects, any furniture, if there's any aroma associated with this experience. Maybe they're wearing cologne. Notice if there's any background noises or sounds associated with this environment. Let all of this land. And now what I want you to do is to look at this person and say something in your own words that they need to hear. Okay, how'd that feel? Now, if you have a script that you're working on, pick up that script. Say the first line of dialogue. See how much more connected you are. So this is a muscle that you're working on. And the more you work this muscle, the easier it's going to be, and the more reflexive it's going to be. So the next time you tape an audition, you're going to be able to automatically see your environment. You're going to automatically connect with your reader because you're already aligned with the emotional truth of you / your character. And that's when the magic is going to happen with your scene. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you think you learned something, and if you want to see more of these videos, please hit like and hit subscribe because that allows me to create even more of these videos for you for free. Thanks for watching.